You ever been so low that you couldn't see a way out? Like every door slammed shut, every prayer felt unanswered, and every dream seemed like a joke. Yeah, I've been there. Broke. Tired. Ready to quit. But let me ask you this. What if that moment, that exact moment where you felt like giving up, was the moment right before everything changed? See, most people quit too soon. They walk away one step before the breakthrough. Don't let that be you. Don't you dare fold now. Success ain't cute. Let's start there. Too many people think success is some glamorous destination with red carpets and applause. Nah, that's just the highlight reel, the real journey. It's long, it's ugly, and it will test everything in you. You want to win. You better get ready to struggle. You better get comfortable being uncomfortable, because struggle is part of the process. Ain't no way around it. See, people love talking about the outcome. The car, the house, the promotion, the recognition. But nobody wants to talk about the nights you cried yourself to sleep, the days you worked 2 jobs and still couldn't pay your bills, or those moments where you questioned everything, including yourself. But that's where greatness is born, not on the stage, but in the shadows, not in the victory, but in the valley. Because truth be told, the struggle is the training ground for your success. It's where you build the strength to carry what you're asking for. You can't skip the process and expect to keep the prize. If you avoid the hard part, you forfeit the growth. That grind, that pressure, that pain, it's all working for you, even when it doesn't feel like it. You don't learn anything when everything's going right. Growth comes from the stretch, from being pushed past your limits, from failing and choosing to stand back up. Some of y'all keep asking for blessings you're not built to hold yet. You want more, but you're not willing to go through more. Let me tell you this, the size of your dream determines the size of your struggle. Big dreams come with big trials. So if your life is hard right now, it's because your purpose is big. That pressure you're feeling, that's proof you're in the process. The world may not see it yet, but what you're carrying is valuable. You're not being punished, you're being prepared. Think about a diamond. It doesn't start out shining. It starts as a piece of coal buried deep underground, crushed under pressure for years. But when the process is done, it becomes something priceless. That's you. You're in your precious season right now. You're in the dark, getting shaped, getting toughened, getting molded. And if you quit now, you'll never see the shine. You'll throw away something valuable because it didn't look like the promise yet. So stop resenting the process. Embrace it. Lean into it. Because what's hard now is building you for what's next. That struggle is sculpting your character. That disappointment is deepening your faith. That closed door is redirecting you towards something greater. Nothing you're going through is wasted. Every tear, every setback, every silent night when nobody believed in you, it's all fuel. It's all part of the story you're going to tell when you come out on the other side. Don't let the struggle fool you into thinking it's not working. The process doesn't always feel like progress. But if you keep going, keep showing up, keep believing even when nothing makes sense, you will come out stronger. You will come out wiser. And most importantly, you will come out ready. So if you're in the middle of it right now, if life feels like it's beating you down and everything in you wants to quit, hear me, this is not the end. This is the shaping. This is the making. This is the moment where you decide that you're not going to give up just because it's hard. You're going to push through because it's hard, because that's what it takes. Sometimes life hits you so hard, you start questioning why you're even trying. You look around and wonder why things aren't working out for you, while everyone else seems to be winning. But here's the truth. What you're going through isn't a curse. It's construction. That pain you're feeling, it's building something inside of you. You might not see it yet, but it's shaping your future. It's preparing you for what you asked for. You don't go through pain for no reason. There's always a purpose behind it, whether you understand it now or not. When you're in pain, you're not being broken. You're being built. There's a version of you on the other side of this that's stronger, wiser, tougher, and more focused. But you won't become that person without the process. That process is painful, it's uncomfortable, and sometimes it feels unfair, but it's necessary. The pain teaches you what comfort never could. It strips away the weak parts, the fearful parts, the parts of you that can't carry the weight of your purpose. That's why it hurts. Because something in you is being reshaped. Some of the greatest growth in your life will come during your darkest moments. The pain wakes you up. It forces you to dig deeper. It reveals what you're made of. You don't learn faith when everything's good. You learn faith when all hell breaks loose and you've got nothing left but trust. You don't build resilience when life is smooth. You build it when everything is crumbling and you still find the strength to move forward. And maybe you're in that place right now. Heart heavy, mind tired, soul worn out. But you're still breathing. That means there's still a fight in you. That means God ain't done with you yet. That pain you're in might be the very thing pushing you toward your purpose. Maybe the door had to close so you could finally walk through the one that's meant for you. Maybe that failure wasn't a dead end. It was a redirection. Maybe the people who left weren't meant to go where you're headed. Stop seeing the pain as punishment. It's protection. It's preparation. It's proof that something greater is coming. Every champion has scars. Every successful person has a chapter they don't talk about, a season where they thought it was over. But they didn't stop. They didn't quit when it hurt. They didn't give up when it got dark. They trusted that the pain wasn't in vain. And now they're standing in the place they used to dream about because they kept walking through the fire. Your pain is doing something powerful. It's separating you from who you were and pulling you into who you were born to be. Don't waste it by quitting. Don't numb it. Don't run from it. And don't resent it. Let it teach you. Let it push you. Let it break the limits you placed on yourself. You may not see the purpose now, but one day you'll look back and realize that the pain gave you more than the easy days ever could. So when it hurts, and it will, remember this pain is temporary, but what it produces can last a lifetime. Keep going. Keep believing. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. There's a moment in every journey when quitting feels easier than continuing. When the weight gets so heavy that dropping it all seems like the only option. When the silence of no results starts screaming louder than your faith. That moment isn't a sign to stop. It's the test before the breakthrough. And most people don't fail because they weren't talented or capable. They fail because they quit in the middle of the storm. They gave up during the pressure instead of pushing through it. And that's the difference between those who make it and those who almost did. The storm isn't there to destroy you. It's there to develop you. Storms reveal things. They expose weakness, yes, but they also reveal strength you didn't know you had. See, anybody can believe when everything is going right. Anybody can move forward when the skies are clear. But the ones who truly win in life, they're the ones who keep walking when the road disappears, who keep fighting when they're bleeding, who keep believing when nothing around them says it's working. It's in the middle of the storm where your character is formed. That's where your resilience is built. That's where your faith stops being theory and becomes real. You can talk about believing all day long, but when the lights go out and the money runs dry, when the friends disappear and the doors stay closed, that's when you find out what you really believe. And if you can stand there in that storm and still choose to move forward, still choose to speak life over yourself, still choose to trust the process, you're already winning. The breakthrough doesn't come to those who always had it easy. It comes to those who stayed in the fight. And sometimes that fight is lonely. Sometimes it's quiet. You don't get applause for not quitting. You don't get celebrated for showing up when nobody's watching. But that's where the real work happens. In the unseen, in the private struggle. And make no mistake, just because it looks like nothing is happening doesn't mean growth isn't taking place. Seeds grow underground before they ever break the surface. Quitting is always loud. It feels like relief in the moment. But it leaves behind regret. The kind of regret that whispers, "What if?" for the rest of your life. But when you push through, when you stay locked in during the storm, the victory on the other side hits different. It means more because you earned it. You fought for it. You stayed when it would have been easier to walk away. You don't get to skip the storm and still reach the destination. The storm is part of it. The chaos, the confusion, the struggle. All of it is carving out space for your blessing. It's removing what can't come with you. It's sharpening what needs to be sharp. It's making you ready. Because there's a version of success that you can only handle after you've been through something. The kind that doesn't just make you rich or famous, but makes you whole, solid, unshakable. So if you're in a storm right now, don't you dare let go. Don't back down. You've come too far to quit now. You didn't survive all that pain just to stop here. You didn't cry those tears, lose those nights, fight through all that just to walk away. You're closer than you think. Most people quit right before it gets good. Don't let that be your story. Stay in the fight. Your storm has an expiration date, but your victory, that lasts forever. Every time you think about giving up, ask yourself why you started. Go back to that original fire, that original reason you even dared to dream. Because when life gets tough, your why is what's going to keep you standing. Your why is the anchor. It's the thing that'll hold you down when the winds of life start trying to blow you off course. Without a strong reason, you'll fold. You'll look for shortcuts. You'll settle for less. That's why your why has to be bigger than your excuses, your fear, and your fatigue. Excuses are easy. You can always find a reason to stop. I'm too tired. It's not working. Nobody believes in me. That list will write itself if you let it. But none of those excuses can compete with purpose. When you've got purpose, you'll push through exhaustion. You'll keep going even when no one claps. You'll take the hits and still keep moving. Why? Because quitting is no longer an option. That dream you've been carrying, it's tied to something deeper than just success. It's tied to who you are, to what you're called to do. A weak why will crumble under pressure. That's why so many people start and never finish. They thought it would be easy. They thought success was all about inspiration. But real success is built on discipline, on showing up when you don't feel like it, on doing the work when the excitement is gone and nobody's watching. And that kind of consistency, it only comes when you've got a reason that won't let you quit. Think about it. When people go to the gym in January, everybody's motivated. But come February, it's empty again. Why? Because motivation fades. The goal was surface level. But when someone walks in the gym because they want to live to see their kids grow up, because they're fighting for their health, their peace, their life, that kind of why hits different. That kind of why survives the pain. You've got to ask yourself, what am I really doing this for? Who am I fighting for? What's on the other side of this struggle that's worth everything I'm going through right now? Because if your reason is big enough, no obstacle can stop you. You'll get knocked down, but you'll get back up. You'll hear no, but you'll keep asking. You'll feel fear, but you'll move anyway. That's the power of a strong why. It's not always going to make sense. People will question you. They'll think you're crazy for chasing something so hard. But that's because they don't see what you see. They don't feel what you feel. They don't know what's driving you. And they don't need to. This journey ain't theirs, it's yours. You weren't built to live average. You weren't built to quit halfway. You were built to finish, to rise, to overcome. But that only happens if you stay connected to your reason. There will be days when your body is tired, when your mind is overwhelmed, when your emotions are all over the place. On those days, you won't be able to rely on hype or motivation. You'll have to dig deep into your why. And if it's real, if it means something, it will pull you through the pain. It'll remind you of the promise. It'll silence the excuses and push you back into the fight. So don't just focus on what you want. Understand why you want it. Because when your why is strong enough, quitting will never be an option. Rejection and failure are not signs that you're unworthy. They're signs that you're on the path. You can't grow without them. You can't succeed without them. Every no you hear, every door that closes, every time someone laughs at your dream or tells you you're not good enough, that's fuel. That's part of the fire that forges greatness. The problem is most people take rejection personally. They let it get in their head. They start believing that a no means stop. But a no doesn't mean stop. It means not yet. It means keep going until. You have to understand something. If everyone believed in your dream, it wouldn't be special. If everyone could see your vision, it wouldn't be yours. People will doubt you. They'll say you're not qualified, not ready, not capable. Let them talk. That's noise. You weren't called to convince them. You were called to show them. And the only way to do that is to keep moving, keep working, keep showing up, even when you feel like you don't belong. You don't need validation from people who've never walked your path. Their rejection is not your reality. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. The road to anything meaningful is paved with mistakes, setbacks, losses, and lessons. You will fall. You will mess up. You will make the wrong move. But that doesn't mean you failed. It means you're in motion. The only way you truly fail is by giving up. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you've even tried. The difference? They kept getting back up. They didn't let a fall define them. They used it to rise higher. When you get rejected, when something you work for falls apart, when people let you down or walk away, don't fold. Don't let it break your spirit. Let it sharpen your focus. Let it remind you that the world doesn't owe you anything. And if you want it, you've got to go get it. Every no gets you closer to your yes. Every failure is teaching you how to succeed. If you stop now, you'll never know how close you were. It's in those moments of rejection and failure that you discover who you really are. That's where your grit shows up. That's when your faith gets tested. Anybody can keep going when everything is working. But when you've been turned down 10 times, when you've failed 3 times in a row, When nothing seems to be moving, and you still choose to keep going, that's strength. That's courage. That's the stuff champions are made of. Rejection builds toughness. It teaches you how to take a hit and not crumble. It gives you the kind of strength you can't fake. And failure is your best teacher. You don't learn from getting everything right. You learn from the times it goes wrong. That's when you figure out what needs to change, where to adjust, how to improve. That's when you grow. So stop fearing rejection. Stop running from failure. Embrace them. Use them. They're shaping you. You're going to be misunderstood. You're going to be told no. You're going to get it wrong. But so what? That's how winners are built. Through the no's, through the falls, through the silence and the struggle. So if you've been rejected, keep going. If you've failed, get up again. That's the path. That's the price. And if you're willing to keep walking it, you'll reach the promise. Not in spite of rejection and failure, but because of them. If you don't quit, you win. It's really that simple. Not easy, but simple. Life doesn't reward perfection. It rewards persistence. The ones who make it aren't always the smartest, the most talented, or the most connected. They're the ones who refuse to give up. When it got hard, they kept going. When nobody believed in them, they kept showing up. When everything said, stop, they found one more reason to take another step. That's what separates winners from almost. Not talent, not luck, not even timing. It's the decision to keep moving no matter what. Quitting is the only real way to lose. As long as you're still in the game, you've got a chance. You may be bruised, you may be tired, you may be walking slow. But if you're still walking, you're still moving forward. Some of the biggest breakthroughs happen right after the moment when most people quit. They don't even know how close they were. They gave up at mile 99 because mile 100 felt too far. But the ones who win, they push through mile 99 like their life depends on it. Because in a way it does. There are going to be seasons when everything in you says it's not worth it. When the progress is invisible and the pressure is unbearable. When you're working and grinding and sacrificing and nothing seems to be happening, that's the test. That's where your will gets forged. Not in the spotlight. Not when it's easy, but in those dark, quiet moments when quitting seems logical. That's when you decide what kind of story you're going to live. A story of, I almost made it, or I kept pushing until I did. You don't have to be perfect every day. You just have to not give up. It's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you rise. Every comeback starts with the decision to stand back up. Life will hit you hard. But if you stand back up, you're still in the fight. And as long as you're in the fight, you can still win. The truth is, it's never too late. You could be down bad right now. Broke, lost, behind in every area of your life. And still, if you don't quit, you can come back from it. One step at a time, one decision at a time. Every time you choose to keep going when it hurts, you're building something. You're building grit. You're building faith. You're building momentum. And eventually, that momentum turns into results. Winners don't feel strong every day. They feel fear. They feel doubt. But they move anyway. They cry and still show up. They fail and still try again. Because deep down, they know as long as I'm still moving, I haven't lost. The ones who keep going eventually rise. Because that's what happens when you refuse to surrender. The world moves out of the way for people who won't back down. There's power in being relentless. In saying, I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to see this through. That mindset changes everything. It shifts your focus from temporary pain to permanent purpose. It takes your eyes off the obstacle and locks them onto the outcome. And when that becomes your mindset, quitting doesn't even register as an option. So if you're tired, rest, but don't quit. If you're scared, breathe, but don't back down. If you're discouraged, remind yourself why you started, and then keep moving. Because in this life, the ones who win are not always the ones who had the most. They're the ones who refuse to stop. If you don't quit, you win. Every single time. So now you know, this journey isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's not about never falling. It's about rising every single time you do. Life will throw punches, people will doubt you, doors will close, and failure will visit. But none of that can stop you if you just refuse to quit. You've come too far to give up now. You've cried, sacrificed, believed, and fought your way to this moment. So stand tall, dig deep, and keep pushing forward. Because no matter what comes your way, the truth remains, if you never give up, you will win.